Hey everybody, this is the Wanwu Mini Kepler. It's an interesting piece that uses 6 magnets, and it's one of the few that you can still find on AliExpress. Well, one of the few that I have that you can find on AliExpress. And although I don't review spinners on average, I'd like to do that every once in a while. I have a few that are worth looking at. This one's mechanically interesting, I think. So let's take it apart and talk about it. So first of all, if you're looking for one, on AliExpress, if you search for Mini Kepler or Kepler Mini, you'll eventually find this. I think the only one that I've seen available now has black pieces that come out here, but the rest of the body is just normal stainless, and it is stainless. I'm not sure if it was ever available in anything else, zirconium or titanium, I'm not sure. I'm only seeing stainless right now. And I think I paid, this is the most expensive spinner that I have. And I think I paid around $140 for it initially. Now I think it's about the same price. And you don't want to get confused with, this is a Kepler also, but it's from Kepler Technology, and it's from back in the day, so to speak. And there's a mini version of this, and it's called the Mini Kepler, or the Kepler Mini. But of course, just wanted to point that out. I was a little disappointed because I expected, when this slows down enough, all 3 pieces will come back to the middle. That's if you're holding it this way, not if you're leaving it flat. If you're leaving it flat, they'll just stay out there. And when I bought it, I was under the impression that they were always in attraction, and the only thing that made them separate was the rotation. So that was a little bit of a letdown, but then, I've seen other things come out too, and I think they're all pretty much the same. We're going to take one of these apart so you can see how it works on the inside, and I'll take apart the middle too. There's a magnet here and a magnet here, but I know a lot of the ones that have come out since then that do this sort of thing operate the same way. They're just more of a gravity thing. You could end up with this piece still hanging down here on the bottom. So that's something to be aware of. Like I said, I'm not much of a spinner reviewer, and I don't know what to talk about. It's a nice size. We'll measure it here in a minute. It's a nice weight. I like stainless. I'm overall kind of happy with it. Like I said, pretty pricey for me. But overall, pretty happy with it. I like mechanically interesting things that I can take apart, and this fits that category. So, just like with the fidgets, I've kind of decided on a standard to compare things with. Most people are familiar with this. This would be known as a sea green C3, and it's been available in all sorts of materials, but this is stainless, and I figure that makes a good comparison. That way I won't grab a bunch of other spinners that nobody has. Most people know what this is in size. So here we have it. When you actually stand them up on a flat surface, this one's about 1 millimeter taller. But so there's your comparison. We'll do some measurements here. I'm always curious about the height, because most people, at least I do, I have shelves where I store things standing up, and I need to know the height because my shelves are only a certain height and they're kind of stacked. So the height would be about 44 millimeters. Let's say the spin radius would be somewhere around 21, 22. The button diameter, 22. The diameter of the body, the thickness of the body is 11 millimeters, and the thickness of the buttons is just about 15. For weight, about 82 grams. Next thing we'll do is take it apart. So you'll be needing a flat-tipped screwdriver. An 1/8 inch is a little too wide. It will fit in there, but it's a little too wide, so I'm using a 3/32. And we're just going to take one of these apart because they're all the same. So you just lift off one side or the other, and you'll see that there is a magnet being held. Make sure that's in focus. And a little groove there. And on the mating side, it just fits together. So that magnet is let's see here, 4 millimeters square and 2 millimeters thick. So we'll put him off to the side. Put these guys up here. Put that up there. And now we'll take apart the. So these are old school buttons, or you'd say they're not. I'm okay with. I say modern buttons. A lot of people just have 2 female buttons and then a grub screw that connects the 2 together. That's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that overall. But I'd call this old school, and I like that too. A dedicated male and female buttons. So we got those, and here you could see the other magnet. So there's a magnet that rides in here and a magnet that sits right here. Of course, they want to attract. It doesn't do much if you put these in opposition to each other. It's not, I mean, you could try it if you want to, but I'm just telling you, it's not that exciting. The other thing you can do, it is a little more interesting at least, is you could flip these over and they will work. You could do all 3 like this. So that's an option, just for fun. So now we have a bearing retention system, and I'll need a key for that. Let me get my keys out. If you haven't seen this mess before, it's more like my collection. It's not that I need all these keys, but I have so many different ones I thought it'd be fun to put them on a carabiner and keep them. So let's take this apart. It's an R188 bearing. That's pretty much a standard. Most spinners use R188s. Okay. Now there's a thin steel magnetic plate that sits over top of the magnets and this rim right here. But if you put your thumb over the edge of it so it doesn't fly apart on you, you can get this bearing out if you need to clean it. And then to get to the magnets, I'm just going to go ahead and let one come out. I think they're all probably going to pop out on me, but okay, I got one. Those 2 stayed in place. These 2 popped out. These 2 stayed in place. This one popped out. So you got that little ring and another square magnet, same size as the one that's out in the arms. So there you have it. We just want to put this back together and make sure it's in the right orientation. There, I put it in backwards by accident. So you see, when you put them in opposition to each other, there's not much of a... If I hold it perfectly straight up and down, it's only hovering about 1/16 of an inch away from actually resting. When I do it at its side, it looks a little bit better. So yeah, it's not very strong when you do that. You know, oh, there it is. I was going to say the easier way to get that out would have been to just take my screwdriver and get it out there. So, which way do we want this to go? Let's just take our chances and put it in again. There we go. Now we have a traction. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and put this back on, this little plate. That's good. You can drop your bearing back in. Be careful because it just attracted to the magnets as soon as I got nearby. And put the bearing retention ring back in. Tighten it down. Let's find out where this magnet needs to be. Put it down in the little slot here. So it's a little harder than it sounds. Now, did I get it right? I did not get it right. It's in opposition. So, see if I can just flip it around. Yay. go. Put this side on. Okay. Whoops. Alrighty, and we put the buttons back on. It doesn't matter which side the buttons are on. And there you have it. Slow it down. There you go. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it useful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Bye.